This episode is brought to you by thedolphinwars.com.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin Television, episode 305. I am Raymond. I am the writer of the Dolphin Wars trilogy and ruler of the greatest pod on YouTube. And tonight is Wednesday evening interviews, and I have a special guest. Her name is Brenda Tibbs. And she is doing something interesting, and we will go into that after we get started here. If you enjoy the interviews, the fun that we have on the weekends, and the reviews and games we play, please like and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please put, as soon as I can get the link up there, please help out the channel by tipping, going to the link and putting some ducats in the buckets and tip the channel. It'll help keep this channel going. And so we can continue to bring interesting things and have fun. So I also, please watch the channel so we can get these watch hours going, and we can eventually the channel can get monetized to help out with StreamYard starting to do its increasing their prices. It really would help if we got monetized. So I'd like to welcome Brenda Tibbs. How are you doing, ma'am?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been a while. Last time we had you on, it was at the Lady Pilots Roundtable.
I remember.
Yes. So and so this is a car interview, car video. So tell us why you are doing a car video.
Well, I also work with an organization called Tip Me Frederick. We work primarily with a TNR, trap, neuter, return, for feral cats. And sometimes our cat colonies, they have kittens before we can get them all spayed. So then we take the kittens and we find homes for them. And tonight, one of my kittens is here at PetSmart for an adoption event, and hopefully he's being adopted. There's a family coming specifically to see him tonight. So so I'm just going to sit out here by PetSmart until we're done and Teddy is done with his adoption event.
Awesome. So before we get started with the actual interview, I'll welcome everybody who is here. We got right now 4 people. And I'm sure this will increase. Legata says, kittens and turtles, tigers and bears, oh my. And FKHC says, the barn cat type.
Yes, that's what.
Yeah. All right. So let us welcome our visitor, FKHC, Tim. 2005. Well, welcome, sir. Okay. And then my lifeguards, the ones that keep things fun and safe here. First off, my producer, Sandra. This is the King Dolphin TV presentation in color Love you, honey. Also, we have the first one in, the last one out. Oh, I got us, Legion Eye. I'm sure he's going to have all sorts of questions as we keep going with the interview. We also have Max Redstone. Hello, Max. He's lurking, but we'll be listening. And then we've got Snortapoopas Cuber, the best bear on the internet, my friend and brother bear. Please send your thoughts and prayers to Snort. Right now, he's getting the rain and wind from Milton, and I'm sure he's hunkered down in his cave, and he's just concerned about power. So just keep your thoughts and prayers out to Snortapoopas, that he weathers the storm as he usually does. So, okay. Yes, I want little you to start asking questions. Okay, so she's been on before. She's been here with the Lady Pilots, but give us a refresh. What flying you do, a little bit background, and yeah.
Well, I'm a flight instructor. I used to own a flight school. I recently sold that so that I could do more work with so I could hang out with my grandkids more and do more work with the cat. But yeah, I'm a flight instructor, and I don't know what else to say about that. I did a lot of training with your wife, Sandra, when we were both becoming flight instructors. I've been a part of the 99s. I helped start the Mountaineer chapter of the 99s. Yep. And actually, a woman pilot just pulled up next to me, Jill Tallman. And I'm so sorry, Jill. I'm doing an interview with Sandra Feliciano's husband, Raymond. And I'm going to be into the event in a little bit. Okay. She's also a 99. Sandra and I are both 99s, which is a women's pilot organization. Yeah. I also helped revive the Blue Ridge chapter of Women in Aviation. I used to work at AOPA, the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. Okay. And I work with Turtles Fly too.
All right. And that's what really got me intrigued when I saw on Facebook you were talking about Turtles Fly 2, and I wanted to find out more. And I think the rest of the chat would find this interesting.
Well, when I worked at AOPA, and boy, that was back in probably 2013, I came across Leslie Weinstein. Somebody must have written an article or something about him and Turtles Fly 2. He's the founder of the organization. And I just saw it come across my desk, and I thought, oh my goodness, I have to know more about this. And I've just been texting and emailing with him ever since. And then I finally got to do a flight, and yeah, it's all history from there.
Okay. Where did you okay, let me try. How did everything get arranged, and where did you fly the turtle from?
So this is kind of, because I owned a flight school, it's kind of an all-encompassing 24-hour-a-day job. It was very hard for me to drop everything at a moment's notice. So Leslie had offered me a few flights, and I couldn't just leave because I had to work. So there was this flight that was going to be scheduled and not an emergency flight. And that was perfect for me because I could schedule the time off. I just couldn't walk out of the office, quickly. Right. So this turtle, her name's Pistachio, and she had been hit by a boat down in the Tampa area. And she sustained injuries that were not going to be recoverable. So she was in a rehab facility. I forget, but I think it was like 9 years. It was several
Oh,
years,
wow.
probably like 9 years she was in a rehab. And they were looking for a zoo or aquarium that would be a good place for her to live out her life. And they found, so she was in Tampa, and they found a place at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, or right outside of Chicago. And they needed somebody to fly her from Tampa to Chicago.
Okay.
So I was asked if I could do that, and that I could do. It was a scheduled event.
Oh, great. Did you have to do a lot of preparation to fly
Well, there was
Pistachio?
there was a flight planning, and also Fish and Wildlife was involved because we're transporting a wild endangered sea turtle. And I'm trying to remember the other organizations that were involved, but this was like a multi-organizational collaboration to be able to move this turtle across state lines, an endangered animal, things like that. So most of that was taken care of by Leslie Weinstein and Kelly. I think her last name's O'Brien, but taken care of by Kelly. And they do a lot of that permitting coordination. And then for me, and I flew with Tim, we just had to do the flight planning. So yeah.
Okay.
So we had to fly from Maryland to Tampa to Chicago and then back to Maryland again.
Wow. Wow. And I take it this was not just a one day.
No, we flew down to Tampa the first day, spent the night in Tampa, and then picked up the turtle first thing in the morning, flew her to Chicago, and then we got a behind the scene tour of the Brookfield Zoo, because this is all during COVID time, so everything was shut down. And so we were the only people at the zoo, which was kind of exciting. And then we did fly home that night.
Okay.
But that was a long day.
Oh, I can imagine. And you sent pictures of I take it this is Pistachio that you sent the pictures of.
Yes. Okay. It looks like it. I'm looking at what you have, and I'm not sure that I recognize that.
What okay, that's the website.
But I did send pictures of Pistachio.
Yes, and I found him, and okay. I'm going to pull him up. Start this, and okay. And there's wow, she's not very big.
That is actually a different turtle. Pistachio wasn't big either, but that is one of the turtles that we got to release in Georgia. That was the largest turtle release in Georgia history. We released 35 or 36 sea turtles that day. They were also Ridleys, which is what Pistachio is. Almost all of them were Kemp's Ridleys, and there was one or two green sea turtles that we were able to release. And again, it's all about permits and working with wildlife protection agencies.
Okay. That must be
Pistachio. Yes.
Okay.
Pistachio was a grumpy girl too.
Oh my. Okay, so
that's Pistachio.
That's Pistachio.
Oh, well, this is kind of embarrassing, but I had to measure the space for the box that Pistachio was going to go in, and the box was perfect. It fit right in the plane. We took a seat out. We were flying the Twin Technum, and but the box didn't fit through the door very easily. It was the same width as the door, but the door is the door frame. Anyway, we had to take Pistachio out of the box in order to kind of twist it to get it into the plane. And so that's them holding Pistachio.
I'm gonna get a picture of a Technam Let's see, so people can see. Was it a Sierra or a Traveler?
A what?
What airplane?
A Twin Technum 2000,
Okay,
2006. Maybe it's a 2006.
okay, I got it.
ET.
Okay. So this, yeah. Okay, this is, here's the airplane that we're talking about.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. So you actually had to make some modifications to.
We had to take the seat out just so that there would be room for her. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now we
And
did take one fuel stop on the way to Chicago, and on the fuel stop, that's how I found out you can tell the mood of a turtle. She did not like the pressure change.
Oh.
So we had to be really careful with that and do gradual descents because the pressure change was bothering her. And how do you know when a turtle is upset? Well, she made it really clear. She got all flopping around in her box and got herself turned around, which there wasn't enough room for, but she managed. And then she got real quiet after that, which made me nervous that, she wasn't doing well, but she was fine.
Did she make noises, or is it just
banging on her box? But that was it. They don't make a lot. I don't think they make noise. She certainly did. Just banging on her box.
Okay. Were you on the flight? Were you alone, or did you have to be accompanied?
I flew with Tim Lanigan. It was for a flight that long, handling the turtle, it was better to have two of us. So one of us would be flying while the other was taking care of the turtle. And when I say taking care of the turtle, we just had to spray her with a little mister just to keep her moist. And we also had to take her temperature because they are cold-blooded animals. Their body temperature changes with the environment. And we just had to make sure that she wasn't too hot or too cold.
Okay. So, wow. So then, once you got to Chicago, what they have was
they had a van from the Brookfield Zoo that met us, and they took her out, and then of course we had to pick her up out of her box again to get the box out, and then they drove us. Well, we followed them over to the Brookfield Zoo, and then they did a whole physical workup on her, just checking all of her vital signs and making sure that she was okay. And then we got to watch them release her into her new tank. And that, as much as I could tell how grumpy she was on the way down, she was so happy when they released her.
Okay. So this was a zoo instead of, as opposed to an aquarium?
Correct. It's like a regular old zoo. But they had this aquarium area in the zoo. So she's in a huge tank now with other sea animals, fish and stuff. I don't remember what was in there, but it also had this little waterfall, and she just kept swimming under that, enjoying the bubbles.
She actually looks quite. She looks quite big.
Yeah.
I mean,
she was a lot to hold on to, especially because she's feisty.
Oh, I can imagine she uses those flippers to bop you if she.
So the turtles we got to release down in Florida. Now I know what a feisty turtle is, because Pistachio was much feistier than any of those other turtles that we had to handle. Those we just picked them up and they were very docile. We just carried
Uh-huh.
them out to the water and gave them a push into the surf, and and it was no big deal. Pistachio took 2 people to hold because she was heavier, and she didn't go anywhere willingly.
Uh-huh. Wow. She definitely had her own one and thinks her own way.
Very much so. But it's really cool. And the Brookfield Zoo had been wanting to get a sea turtle, and they had this whole area prepared for her, and they just needed a turtle. And I still get to watch a lot of their stuff online. They do a lot of live videos at the zoo, and I've seen lots of stories on Pistachio.
Oh, cool. And this was what, 2020, 2019?
I think it was 2020. Yeah.
2020. Do you want to do it again?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I've tried after that, except that these things have to be done very quickly. When a turtle's ready to go, we got to go. And it was always very hard with my work schedule. So even with the big turtle release, they called me on Sunday, I think it was Easter Sunday, and said, "Can you be in Georgia by Tuesday?" And because my work schedule is different now, I just said, "Yep." And the weather was terrible. So I ended up driving down, and totally worth it.
Okay. How is the habitat for Pistat? In Chicago, the habitat is, she likes the habitat there?
Oh, yeah. And there's just like lots of fish and other sea creatures in there. And it was just beautiful. And they had a whole penguin area too. She's not in the penguin area, but it was all in the same building. It was very cool.
Huh. Nice. Nice. Okay. So I think we'll go through the chat. Chat, you can start asking questions, making statements, so we can find out more about flying turtles versus skating kangaroos. That's a match. Well, yeah, we're gonna get a lot of turtle jokes here. Let's see. Okay.
Well, I could tell you a little bit about why Turtles Fly 2 came into existence.
Yeah, please. Give us some background.
In around November, December every year, as the weather gets colder, there are sea turtles that get stuck up in the Cape Cod around Massachusetts, primarily there, also in New York. But they stay in the Bay Area where the water stays warm longer than it does in the ocean. And then when they try to get on migration and they go out into the ocean, the water's too cold. And that's how they become cold stunned. Either that, or if we get a sudden drop in temperature very quickly, they can become cold stunned. And again, because they can't regulate their body temperature, they end up too cold to be able to function, and they get washed up on the beaches, and they're not going to make migration, and they'll die. They get blood infections very easily and pneumonia from this happening. So people will walk along the beach and find these turtles and have them taken to, there's a couple of rehab facilities up there. I think it's the New England Aquarium that has the big rehab facility. And so they patch them all up there, and then they call Turtles Fly 2 to help move the turtles down south. And where we take them would be wherever they should be on their migration when they're strong enough to be released. So and so when I did the turtle release in April, they should have been in Georgia. And so they just get put back on the path.
Okay. I'm looking for now what here's something I'm wondering about. With the severe weather that's hitting the hurricanes that have been clobbering the East Coast, how does that affect?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I mean, I would hope that they could just go, well, they need to breathe, right? I would hope
Yeah.
they could just stay underwater and be safe. And hopefully they are safe. I'm sure that some of them will get washed up on the shore, and hopefully people will help them get back out to the ocean.
Okay.
But the Kemp's Ridley sea turtles do live in the Gulf of Mexico, and they can be found all along the Gulf Coast, both in Florida and in Texas.
Okay.
Turtles Fly 2 actually had one of the Kemp's Ridleys somehow get caught in a current, and it ended up in England.
Huh?
They don't belong in England, and that is not the right climate for them. But one got washed up on the beach in England. So now they had to go through international endangered animal regulations, and they were able to get the turtle flown back to the United States via an airline, and then they were able to get it flown to Texas, and it was released in the Gulf of Mexico in Texas.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that's bizarre. He must have caught the right current to
Or the wrong current.
or the wrong current to get over there. Wow.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. So how many on the whole, how long has Turtles Fly 2 been in business or been in operation?
So I became familiar with them around 2014, so 10 years ago, and they were still pretty new. So I want to say maybe 15 years.
Okay.
And all of this is because of Leslie Weinstein. And he grew up in Florida. He now lives in Montana. So he's really not by the ocean, but he's the coordinator for all of this. And he grew up in Florida finding sea turtles and enjoying the ocean and all of the ocean wildlife, and saw that this was a problem. He's also a pilot. So he I'm sorry. Excuse me. He saw that this was a problem, and he thought, well, pilots could help with this. So he started the coordination, and now they've even started moving animals on the East Coast and the West Coast. And they also have been moving penguins recently. I can't remember why we're moving penguins. And they've moved some storks that ended up needing rehab and needing to go back on their migration path. And what else did they move recently? A seal.
A seal.
Yeah.
Wow. Here, I went on the webpage and I pulled up a flight aware for Strike. I guess Strike likes the interview too. Evidently, this is the flight path for a flying three sea turtles that were stranded in New Jersey in 2016.
You could possibly find the flight path if you looked for Tally the turtle coming from England over.
Tally the turtle. Okay, let me see if I can find Tally. Okay, let's do let's see. Let's see. Get card. St. Louis. Bernie. They don't have a search page. Missions. I don't see one to.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Looking. Turtles Fly 2. Our mission is to facilitate the use of general aviation to transport endangered species and to promote conservation through education and outreach. That is from the site. Let's see. Hello, Phantom Outsider. He says, wait, this isn't going to be a lead into that WKRP moment. I swear, as God is my witness, I thought turtles can fly. Well, remember the Gamera, the flying turtle.
Okay,
from
so
the
we're all
Japanese.
think that's funny.
Yeah, the twirling turtle. So you've heard of him. Actually, who hasn't heard of Gamera? The Japanese flying turtle from the Japanese monster movies.
No, I was just thinking about WKRP.
Yeah, the turkeys. Let's see. Turtles fly, snort, flies, whine. Am I the only one who doesn't fly on a regular basis? Let's see. Could you not do a Bruce Wayne move and escape the office via a turtle tube? Max Redstone says, as a Chicagoan, I could vouch that the Brookfield Zoo is awesome.
It is awesome. I would love to go back with my grandkids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then you could show Pistachio off.
Right?
Yeah.
It was lovely, and there were peacocks all around the grounds, and it was just really, it was very nice. But again, we were the only people there, so that was kind of cool. They gave me as a gift a painting done by a shark.
A painting done by a shark.
Yep. I don't know. They gave it a paintbrush and let it do something.
Oh. Yeah. Well, what was it? I was listening to something today about octopi being very smart creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Max Redstone says, Brenda, serious question. Do you ever sing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song when no one is around?
It could happen.
Oh.
Now, I love all animals, but I do especially love turtles. And where I live, I find turtles all the time. And I would say I move turtles out of the road weekly during turtle moving season.
Mm-hmm.
If not more than that. I've moved several in a day before.
I actually saw one being moved. I was going into the Harper's Ferry National Park. And we were going to go into the town, and I actually saw a couple stop, pick up the turtle, and move it out.
Yep, I do that all the time. And one right next to my driveway.
What I don't understand is Harper's Ferry is elevated, and how do the turtles get up there?
Well, because they're not water turtles.
They're
woodland turtles.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Phantom Outsider says, on the flight, did Pistachio get her complimentary peanuts? That might explain the grumpiness.
You know what? Maybe if I had gotten her snacks, she wouldn't have been so grumpy.
What were you allowed to feed? Was she first? Was she tranquilized? And two,
she was fully awake. And all I did was keep her moist with a mister, just like a regular squirt bottle. And so they gave us the water and the mister and the thermometer to make sure it didn't get too much cool air. She didn't get too hot. Mm-hmm. And she was only on the plane. Oh, it was just a few hours because we picked her up in Tampa in the morning and dropped her off in Chicago by lunch.
Okay. So she didn't need the in-flight meal.
No.
Okay.
No bathroom breaks, nothing.
No bathroom breaks, no nothing. Okay.
No. It's a pretty uneventful flight. We did have to stop for fuel. We almost had enough fuel to do it straight through, but we stopped at Purdue and got fuel there.
Okay. Legatus Legion has a question. What determines if a turtle goes to a zoo or gets relocated in the wild? I'm unsure how that works. That's a good question.
The goal is to put them back, get them rehabbed, put them back. But Pistachio had some neurological problems, some shell damage, and she was missing part of a flipper. So she can function in an aquarium quite nicely. But, and she had buoyancy issues. She wasn't going to be able to get herself down deep enough to be able to feed. And so at the zoo, they can make sure she gets plenty of food. But, out in the wild, she would not have survived very long.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Also, some turtles really hate being named after nuts. Just because both have shells, that's somewhat jealous.
Well, and yeah. I thought Pistachio was a cute name, though.
Yeah, maybe she was. Who named her? Was that after she was?
I assume it was the rehab facility in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
Oh.
They just asked
me. Maybe
if
she was. Maybe she was demanding her beverage service. Okay. Does this also mean that if a turtle eats the turtle's chocolate, that's cannibalism? I don't think so. Chocolate is the universal food.
Right?
Yeah. Max Redstone asks, okay, actual serious question this time. Okay. Do turtles hiss? I have experience with tortoises. They hiss sometimes.
Right? And so box turtles, I have been at by box turtles plenty. But Pistachio, I don't remember her hissing, and I feel like I would have remembered that. So I don't think so. And none of the turtles that I handled down in Georgia hissed, but I know box turtles do.
Up where I work, I was walking on the walk path, and I saw this big, ugly, horned turtle walking across the path. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to avoid it like the plague. So I I walked around it and took a picture of it. I don't have the picture right now, but it's like, then I turned around, it was gone. They move fast.
Probably a snapping turtle.
Yeah, I think it was a snapping turtle. So I kept my distance. And let's see. Right. If they're injured and cannot go back, they go to aquariums or zoos. If they're healthy, they can be released. Okay. But Pistachio wasn't. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. That's because they were going back to the sea. Pistachio likely wants to go back there, but because of the injury, she didn't.
Yeah.
Did they find out what happened to Pistachio or
by a boat?
Oh, hit by a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would do it.
So she's very lucky that she survived her injury, and she's a great ambassador. Kids in Chicago wouldn't be able to see turtles otherwise, and people have been able to learn a lot because of Pistachio.
Cool. And Phantom says, hopefully they can find her friend. Maybe then she'll be less grumpy. Let's see.
So I don't think that turtles really hang out together. And they are not going to be allowed to just breed her, like, find a boyfriend, because an endangered animal, they would have to go through some kind of a program through the zoos, and I don't know what that program is, but it's very regular.
Okay. You'll have to excuse Trike. He's really interested in what he's seeing. He's got such a fire. Legata says, when it comes to educating people, we always see people taking selfies with wild animals on beaches. How do you educate people on the dangers of such and off the potential trauma to the animals?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I wish I had a real answer for that. But I do think that I do think that wild animals should be in the wild. And there are times where they need to be in places like a zoo, like Pistachio. And I think that that's a great way to talk to people about wild animals and their needs. I know that when I went up to England, there were signs on the beaches where the turtles get washed up about, please don't touch them, please call this phone number. And I think education is it, right? There's also the Georgia Sea Turtle Center, where they do a lot of rehab of turtles in Georgia. And it's a great educational center.
Okay. Offhand, how big do sea turtles get? I imagine they don't get as.
So the Kemp's Ridley is not a very big one, and I don't know what they max out at, maybe 100 pounds. And then there's the the leatherbacks? Those can be quite big. Those can be hundreds. So there's a wide variety of sea turtles.
Okay. Phantom Outsider says, a friend of mine who lived in Brazil said every year they'd find penguins on beaches. Those are the ones that get stuck on ice floes, and the Brazilians rescue as many as they can.
Same sort of deal, like animals getting washed up on shores where they didn't, where they really weren't supposed to be. That's cool that they were able to rescue them.
Yeah.
I would love to find a penguin.
Yeah. Let's see.
So being able to hold a endangered sea turtle and carry them out to the ocean to be released after they had been through the rehab, that was the best day I can imagine.
Wow. How many did you help to release?
I got to release 4.
Oh, wow.
Right? Oh my goodness. To carry them from the beach down into the waves and hold them until they start kind of paddling, and then give them a push as the waves go out. Best day ever.
Wow. When was this?
April.
Oh, this past April. Wow.
Yeah. There was a whole group of 99s that went down there. Sandra probably has the 99s magazine. They put a bunch of pictures in that.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Sometimes scientists put trackers or markers on animals re-released into the wild. Has any of your turtles been tagged? Have you seen how far and wide they travel, etc.?
So I think that's a great question, and I wish that the answer was yes, but the answer is no. Because apparently those trackers are incredibly expensive, and the specific turtles aren't part of a scientific project like that. So no, they have not been. I think that what they have gotten are some kind of chips or something. I don't remember, where if they get picked up, they can be scanned, kind of like our dogs or our cats. And I don't even think all of them have been chipped, but I think some of them get chipped so that if they get picked up again, we know like, hey, this is a turtle who can't seem to find his way from north to south. But they don't put trackers on them because they're so expensive.
Wow. That's a shame.
Right? Because wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
When I was in Florida, oh goodness, it was probably a year or two ago, I saw a manatee with a tracker on its tail.
Oh, wow.
And that was kind of cool, especially because the baby manatee that was following it was playing with it. It was kind of funny.
Sorry to hear. Sorry to hear snort. Let's see. Sure, octopi can open a jar, but aren't smart enough to manufacture jars. Probably true. Oh, SP. Hello, SP4H. No turtle survives long out in the wild without ninja training. Oh, sigh. Sigh. Oh, let's see.
So before I learned how to fly, I had gone to the aquarium in Baltimore with my kids and seen one of those IMAX movies where pilots were flying out over the ocean and following dolphins and sharks and whales, and then they would report to the boats, and the boats would be able to go out with the scientists, and then they could find the animal looking for. And that was one of the things where I thought, oh my goodness, I want to be a pilot. So being able to fly with Turtles Fly too was like a part of that dream, you know, being able to use my piloting helping sea animals.
Yeah, that sounds very worthwhile and very fulfilling. Snort is giving a weather report. Just got an extreme wind warning on the phone, but I think the area affected will be south of me, according to the weather guru on the telly. Good. Good.
Yeah, we'll be thinking about you down there.
Yes, Snort.
Some scary stuff.
Mm-hmm. He wishes he was a turtle right now. I'm sure a lot of them wish they were turtles. They can just put them they can hunker up in their shells. Let's see. Sorry, this cold is just lingering. And what did you think those turtles thought? Oh, big ugly human. Let's get out of here. Hail the trike. When they are swimming, they can be hit by boats, as the boats usually don't see them.
Yep. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah. In the news, reporting on activists doing stupid things, splashing soup paint on paintings, gluing themselves in the middle or roadways. Are these attention seekers taking away from good missions? I think so.
Activists doing stupid things.
You know, the soup, splashing things on paintings, doing the gluing themselves to the middle of the roadways. And so he's asking, are these attention seekers taken away from good missions? I think so. Let's see. Oh, here's one. This is a very good question. Does the organization only do the coastal U.S. or have they ever helped in one that was up in Canada or down in Mexico?
So if there was a turtle in Mexico, it probably wouldn't need to be moved because we mostly work with cold stun turtles, and the ones in Mexico probably wouldn't be cold. Canada, Yes, that's international though, and again, everything's so heavily regulated that I don't think they've done a lot with anything in Canada. But I feel like we did recently. There was a turtle. Man, I'm trying to remember if it was coming from Canada or no, it was the seal. And it was up around the Washington Canada border, and they were able to move that. But that's not typically the mission. Typically the mission is moving cold stun turtles from the Northeast, and it doesn't have to be New York or Massachusetts or New Jersey. It's just that's where this cold stunning tends to happen, and helping them move south. So would they help others? Of course, but that's typically what we're asked to do.
Okay, so international.
Moving these sea turtles because they're endangered is a huge amount of paperwork, and that's what Leslie does a lot of, and Kelly too. They work with the Fish and Wildlife, things like that, so that they can move these turtles. So like moving the one from England took a year, all the paperwork in order.
Wow.
So it's a big deal doing it internationally. And one of the reasons why we did the big release in Georgia was because the paperwork in Georgia was easier than the paperwork in Florida.
Even between different states.
Yeah. So they do releases in Florida, but to do that big one, it was going to be a lot more onerous to do it in Florida.
What all in depth does the paper? What is all the paperwork involved?
So I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
It's starting to get dark where I am. I don't do the paperwork, so I'm not really sure, but it has to do with them being endangered, and who's allowed. We're restricted on who's allowed to handle turtles, where they're allowed to go.
From 2 to 6, so we could do 10 to 12. Let's
Okay.
down and finish.
Okay.
Exactly.
Someone had to make the Ninja Turtle joke. Why not me? Okay.
Well, I think it was before the thing showed up on the bottom.
Let's see.
Okay, that's the day, of course, it's completely open.
What is your favorite turtle, and why is it Gamera, the space turtle?
I was gonna say it's pistachio, but
I have Izzy from 12.
Well, yes, but you have a bond with pistachio.
I do. My grumpy Kemp's Ridley turtle.
The
The first sea turtle I got to handle.
Let's see. Turtles Fly 2 partners with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric NOAA and Fish and Wildlife Services to educate students. Have you gone into classrooms? If so, what age group and how often?
So I would. I have not. What I have done a lot of is going into classrooms as a pilot and talking to kids. I work with the Aviation Career Expo, where we organize a huge aviation career expo every year and give away hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to young people. And we bring in all of the military branches and the aviation universities and the airlines and all of the AOPA and GUABA and EAA. Anyway, so it's a huge opportunity for kids to learn about aviation career opportunities. So I do that. And then I also go to high schools and libraries and I talk to kids about aviation. Now, if I'm going to go and talk to a bunch of kids about aviation, I'm going to talk to them about turtles too, because that's what I love. But So I've talked to elementary school kids, mostly high school kids, but also elementary and middle school kids. One of my favorites was I went to a middle school one time to do a career talk. I was asked to go, and I had to do first period. And now we've got middle school kids who didn't necessarily sign up to listen to me talk to them about aviation. And it's first period, and they're all like half asleep, and it's not the most fun thing. But there was one girl who was like sitting on the edge of her seat the entire time. After class was over, she came up and talked to me, and I ended up communicating with parents, and then I got to do her first flight, and then got to help. She moved out of the country. Anyway, she's a pilot now, and she is going to aviation, and that was really cool for me to be a part of that.
Cool. Give her first experience.
Yeah.
And it's leading her to, it got her a pilot's license and
so the sorts of things that I love is helping young people making career decisions. And I don't even care if they want to be a pilot. I just love helping them find out if that is what they want to do. But meantime, or at the same time, also we'll talk about Turtles Fly too, because I think it's a cool mission.
Yeah, that is a worthwhile. Let's see. Looking. Aw, I like this picture of the little baby turtle. That's on the webpage. Oh, that is a small turtle.
Oh, that is a small turtle.
Let's see.
I
like this. I like this. Well, some might find sea turtles and airplanes an unlikely match. Leslie Weinstein does not. The little sea turtle, an endangered species, and general aviation, another endangered species, have come together to rescue each other. That's the way I see it. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So let's see. I'm looking to see if there's any other questions that are out there. Phantom Outsider says, when my grandfather was alive, turtles faced a determined predator. As when he was a kid in the Philippines, turtle soup was a thing. Yeah. Luckily, pet stores refused to sell him little turtles for soup. Yeah.
I would never eat a turtle, but I'm sure you're.
Neither would I. But I'm sure there are some countries that do that. Okay, Legata says, when it comes to air traffic, we have Air Force One, Air Force Two, and then Turtles Flight 2 in that order. Do you have problems when it comes to dealing with airport personnel and policies?
So that is a really good question. We actually got priority service for having the turtle on board.
Oh.
It is an endangered species, and it is time sensitive to get her where she needs to go. And so all of the Turtles Fly 2 flights, they get their special call sign. And
I was going to ask you, do they get a do the turtle, when you're flying turtle flight, do you get your own call sign?
We were called Turtle Flight. And
you were called Turtle Flight. Wow.
Yeah. And so then we got special priority. And of course, air traffic control would ask us questions like, hey, do you really have a turtle on board? Yes. But I mean, we couldn't get there much faster than we did, right? But it was nice that we weren't going to be put off, that we weren't going to be redirected or anything.
Yeah. That's cool. You got a turtle flight. Turtle One or Turtle One. And for example, a van to pick up the turtle right from the plane on the tarmac.
Yes, it drove right out onto the tarmac to drop it off and then again to pick it up.
Oh, wow.
And, that is special, but I mean, you've been at Signature or Martinsburg where, people can drive out there to pick up and drop off.
Yeah.
It's just not everybody gets to do that.
Right.
They were allowed to come right out to the plane for moving her.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for. We're going back to turtle soup, and I think I'm gonna. He really wanted turtle soup, so it's really, really good or addictive. The biggest compliment he gave the turtles is he'd say, "Turtles are the best animals. Why? They come with their own bowls," and he was being serious. Oh, this is a very good question. Do you need special screening or authorization to do the flights?
No, I did not get any special, like personally. So we did have to have special authorization, but that was as an organization, not as me as a person. But now that I think about it, I did have to communicate with somebody from Fish and Wildlife, but yeah, I didn't get any kind of a background check or anything.
Okay. What certification do you have to have in order to be involved in the flights?
Private pilot's license, but they prefer instrument ratings so that cloudy weather isn't going to hold you up. Because again, once these turtles are ready to go, they want them to go and they don't want to have weather delays if possible. And that's not always possible.
That's true.
But they do want to see an instrument rating preferred. But that's it.
But so you don't need a commercial with a second class.
We're not getting paid.
Okay. That's a good question, Legatus. All right. Well, if anybody's got any other questions, because I know you got to go you've got to go to the cat. You got to go to the adoption thing.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to say about the organization and how you're involved with it?
If you guys are interested, you should all follow them on Facebook, and you'll see all of the fun things that are going on and all of the people working to save wildlife. And it's just one of the best things that I've been involved with.
All right. Sandra's got a good question. Are your flights tax deductible since you're paying the costs?
Yes.
Okay.
So much like Pilots and Paws.
Huh?
And we also got discounts on fuel, and they.
Hold on a moment, please. Sorry, Trike's getting agitated. Look at Phantom. It's probably a questionnaire. Do you like turtles? Do you like soup?
Turtles.
Do you like turtles and soup? Correct is yes, yes, no.
Wait, what?
Do you like turtles? Do you like soup? Do you like turtles and soup?
I do not like turtles and soup. No.
Turtles.
Well, I don't know if you remember, Raymond, but I don't eat meat of any sort. So
So you're vegetarian. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen you.
It has been.
Yeah. Let's see. So you find it you found it very rewarding, and you definitely will do it again.
Absolutely. I was actually just invited to be on the advisory board for Turtles Fly 2.
Oh wow!
I'm very excited about. This is something that's just very important to me.
Oh great, great. Good luck on that.
Well, thank you.
All right. Frank wants to know why turtles get flight priority over dogs. Dogs want both the snack, dinner, and beverage on flight. Especially that big lug. All right. Well, it's getting dark there because I can see the shadows go. And I know you've got your adoption event, so I think we're going to wrap it up. I really appreciate
talking to me about this tonight, Raymond.
Yes, it was very intriguing and interesting. So I am glad you were able to come on so we can talk about it. And okay, let me see here. Oh, that's right. We talked about the non-feeding of turtles on the flight, but what about the pilot? What is your favorite cookie? I think we've asked you that question before.
Oreos are my favorite cookie.
Oreos?
Yes.
All right. Normal or fried?
Oh, normal.
Okay. All right. So she likes Oreos. There you go, Legatus. Thank you. Yes, we needed to get that last question out there. Okay. So, now they can regular or double stuff?
Oh, both, but probably double stuff.
Lemon or regular?
Lemon? Oh, no, regular.
Okay, regular. All right.
When I was a kid, I had 2 pet ducks. One of them was named Oreo and the other was double stuff.
Well, I guess we know. Now we know. Okay, so let us go to show notes and start wrapping it up.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
All right, show notes. This Saturday, Just Cuz will be on at 7 p.m. because Yom Kippur is on Saturday, and that will end at sundown. So that's why the delay. But we are still having a Just Cuz. A week from today, we're going to do the airframe and power plant talk that we were going to do last week with Eric Judy. On the 19th will be Just Cuz. On the 23rd, we will get back to our reviews of the Fantastic Four. That way back from the Jack Kirby days. On the 26th, it's go big or go home. It's on Just Cuz. It's the 3-year anniversary. Can't believe it's been that long. We've gone 3 years. Trike's birthday and my birthday all combined into one day, which is why we're calling it go big or go home. And November, the only thing right now besides the Just Cuz's that we've got going is on Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, we will be doing the Slaughter in the Water. Kevin Humes, Raymond Feliciano, meet on the mat. Meet on the mat. So it's going to be epic. And so that is show notes. I guess you're heading over to the PetSmart.
I need to go.
Okay.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you. Thank you very much for being here. Glad you were able to make it. And good luck with the flight turtles too.
Thank you. Good night.
Night all. Night. All right. She had to go, but we'll wrap it up. Snorter Poopus says, take care of every human, dolphin, doggo, dialect, fowler, eagle, hedgehog, and sea pig. Copyright trademark, a wholly owned subsidiary of King Dolphin TV. Let's see. Just cuz after dark. Oh, what naughtiness will we witness, be a part of? And Snort says, take care, Brenda. And Phantom Outsider says, LOL. A King Dolphin TV first. The guests walk off on camera. So true. So true. So that is show notes. Just remember, Slaughter is coming soon to a pond near you. All right.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
All right. That was show notes. Let's see. Okay. Sandra says, good night, all. The Pop Culture Breakdown link isn't out yet. Be sure to do a pod raid and wish Doomcock a happy anniversary for tomorrow. Yes, it's his 7-year anniversary. Hi, Dead Man. How you doing? I hope you're staying dry and not getting blown away. We're thinking of you too, my friend. And how's the missus? Mr. Stream today. Okay, yes. You keep your head down as well. He says, Snorter Poopers, you still have power? And Max is asking, keeping the powder dry? Power is flickering constantly. Dan Man is saying, still waiting on the wind. How is the missus? I heard she was under the weather. Oh, wow. She had to go into ER, rested today. Oh my goodness, please put an MDW out there. And of course an SQB. And DMW to show that we're thinking of all three of you guys as you have to face that monster coming down the Gulf, coming up the Gulf. So let's see. Hey, Dalek. How you doing, Dalek 451? Dalek says, "Hi, Raymond. Night, Raymond. Night, Dalek." Okay. So, okay, let's she's much better tonight, just resting, and this weather leads to just staying indoors and resting. Good idea. Good idea. All right, let me start saying goodnight to everybody. Yes, please give our regards to the missus. All right, and let's start to say goodnight. We had tonight the aforementioned Dad Man Walking 5-5. We had Tim FKHC 2005. We had the Great Phantom Outsider SP4H. And that is all the guests. And now the amazing lifeguards that I have on staff. We have the producer of this episode and of all episodes of King Dolphin TV, Sandra. Hold on a second. Dan Man says, and here I go saying, stay indoors now, and I'm going out to get Chinese food. Seriously, it's not bad here. Well, that's good. That is good. Let's see. We had the first one in, the last one out. Let got us, Legion Eye. Thank you for the questions. Those were pretty good. Let's see. We had Dalek 451. Thank you for coming in and making a short drop by. And I hope you're having a great day. We've got Max Redstone, who's been lurking but watching. And thank you for being here, Dalek. Thank you, Dalek, and thank you, Max. Snort says, Dad Man, bring me some Chinese food. It's not that bad here. Honest. Oh, he's wanting you to make the road run, Dad Man. Hey, bring me some Chinese food too. Actually, we just had pizza. We had Domino's pizza and bread. We had bread puff or little bread things. I would start a poos, but I think that was I would snort a poop, but that day I'm traffic down here and the gas stations are what scared me away. Snort says, never mind. I just looked out my window. I won't walk to the mailbox right now. Oh, bad. Uh-oh. Yes, keep it. Yeah, let's keep Snort and Dan Man and the missus and everybody else in the path of the storm. Legata said, oh, okay, that's King Dolphin TV. Dalek did not want to embarrass the turtles with how a Dalek shell looks in comparison. Oh, that is so true. That is so true. A Dalek shell is so stylish. Yeah, Starterpoos. Yeah, I knew what it meant. Starterpoos equals Snorterpoopus. Don't you hate those autocorrects? And speaking of which, we gotta thank that the hardest working bear on the internet. Snort up Poopas! Cute bark. Dot scream. Hashtag roar. You be good. You be safe, buddy. Got to have you back on Saturday. All raring and go. All ready to rear and go. Yeah, can't disappoint Amber. Can't do that. Can you? All right, you stay safe, Snorty and Dad Man and everybody else. All right. So that is everybody. I'd like to again thank our guest, Brenda Tibbs, for talking with us about Turtles Fly 2 and the good work that they are doing for stranded sea turtles. And hail Pistachio, the best turtle in Chicago, the best sea turtle in Chicago. All right. Well, everybody, you have a good night. Stay safe. Stay happy. You guys down in the in Florida, we're thinking about you, hoping that it fizzles out very quickly. We'll see you Saturday, 7 o'clock. Oh, that's okay, Dalek. I thought since you were about to end, I'd just be quick. That's fine. That's fine. So you guys take care. We'll see you Saturday at 7 o'clock. Let's make some waves. But not big ones for Snort. Yeah. We want Snort and Dad Man and the missus to be safe. All right. Good night, everybody.